Good morning, folks. Mercury and Venus opposed the Sun this morning. Website members and veteran observers know that means to expect solar activity even at a quiet star. We've sure got the potential for it as the Sunspot group is getting ugly on the disk. We've got news from the cosmos and video of the catastrophe unfolding in Japan. Let's get right to it over at spaceweathernews.com. We're finding that the last 24 hours on our star appear relatively calm, but incoming from the left, south of the solar equator, a bright region of ionized iron takes over one's gaze, and that's due to a large and now extremely complex sunspot grouping at Mercury's magnetic connection to the Sun. The growth has set dangerous Delta-class magnetic setup in the center of the expanding group. We'll have to have eyes open today for eruptive activity, even as he contends with the Earth facing quiet and our star's trend towards a minimum and away from these larger events. While I wouldn't hold my breath for solar flares, I would go ahead and turn on the solar flare notification alerts on the disaster prediction app, just in case. Solar wind here, and indeed a minor coronal hole stream has engulfed our planet. Speed ramp didn't hit anything close to scary, and Earth's magnetic field is flexing this morning against the underwhelming bombardment. We cannot be more than 36 hours away from the next impact from the stream from the departing coronal hole here. Still got its trailing portions to face Earth into the weekend. Folks, Yale has found 60 new hot Jupiters. They say this animation that comes with it is actually much closer to scale than many such orbital diagrams. The star to hot Jupiter size and relative distance from each other actually is pretty close to accurate, implicating the intense interactions that make hot Jupiters the way they are. Up next, another jab at the reliability of the gravitational constant. If you are unfamiliar with how unreliable he can be, just Google gravitational constant variation. It's a major physics problem, and this paper is a nice reminder that we're still missing something. Up next, folks, this seemingly innocuous image actually shows a post-supernova stellar remnant blasting so fast through the galaxy that its shockwave is bunching up particles too quickly, and they end up polluting the inner cone to the tune of a few Earth masses, leaving open doors for planet formation events in the wake of such nova. Speaking of majorly devastating events, remember when Hurricane Joaquin made a 1,000-year flood in South Carolina without ever making landfall? That basically just happened in Japan. A typhoon briefly spun up off the eastern seaboard and drove a convergence line rainstorm that dropped up to inches per hour and lasted for 20 hours. They have not seen an inundation like this since the Fukushima tsunami disaster, and back then, there actually were not as many people evacuated due to the rising waters. Folks, there is just 1 week left in the pre-registration award period where we'll pick 2 pre-registrants for the upcoming conference and do free room upgrades. By the way, when we announce the first female speakers confirmed for 2018 after that date, some of you are likely to be kicking yourselves. It's cool, I've got Band-Aids and a barge worth of appreciation for all of your support. We've got pressure and radar forecast now, an all-school atmospheric chemistry run, and shots of our star to close. We'll do this all again tomorrow, right here, but right now it's 4:40 a.m. in the new Valley of the Sun. Eyes open, no fear. Be safe, everyone.